Hey everyone, I thought I would show some of my 1 to 25th scale, 1 to 24th scale, and other oddball in that same general range collection. So the majority of my scale models in this size are down in Massachusetts. Here's a few oddballs that either I bought in the past couple of years and I haven't brought down there, or there's a few that I've brought back up here so I could take photos of multiple cars. The McLaren F1 is a perfect example of that. This is the only 1 to 24th scale McLaren that I have. These are actually fairly rare in the US. I see them on eBay from time to time, but they're almost always from the UK. There's a good amount on there every year, but they seem to go for $30 to $40 with shipping and handling from the UK, and that's way too much money. I wouldn't mind picking up a second one and repainting it, but that's too much. There's one mint in box right now. I think that's going for about $25. Anyway, here's a recent Datsun 510. I kind of regret buying this one. I should have gotten the stock one, but I like the mirrors on this one. I don't know. I almost would want to make a hybrid of both. So have the original drivetrain and everything else, but the Japanese mirrors, and then the nicer wheels. And again, this is some of this stuff is more recent. Some of these are fairly old, but some of these are fairly recent. I'm not going to take this one out of the box. It's so similar. The 74 911 Turbo is so similar to that other black one that I'm not going to bother taking it out of the box. This is, excuse me, what a lot of people refer to as the Bad Boys Porsche. So this is one of my favorites in this collection. So it's a 964 Turbo, and in this case, you know, they're really doing a nice job with these cars now. So, for instance, the doors have all the glass. There's all the glazings there. They have beautiful interiors. Welly's really doing a nice job with these. I'm very impressed with Welly. I started to notice this in the past couple of years. Last fall, we went on vacation to Bar Harbor, Maine. And these are also Welly, by the way. Both the Mercedes 300 SLs are Welly. And again, the doors. Oh, jeez. All right. They have no nails whatsoever, so it's hard for me to pry these open, but let me see if I can do it. There we go. So again, the doors open up beautifully. The engines aren't super detailed, but considering the cost, they're pretty good. They really have stepped up their game, and I went to a Rite Aid. Yeah, I think it was a Rite Aid, some kind of a small pharmacy in Bar Harbor, Maine, and I found this Mercedes in this Trans Am, this 1973 Pontiac Trans Am 455 SD. And when I saw these, I picked them up. I took a look at them. They usually kind of beat up at the convenience stores and grocery stores and pharmacies where they sell some of this nonsense. It's usually, that's not where you want to buy it. But these are in great shape. They apparently just been put out. And I looked at the quality of them and I was really impressed. Let me try to get the hood. I believe the hood opens on this one. I was really impressed with the details on these cars, and just to the length they went to make them really, you know, fairly authentic to what they're supposed to be. I mean, that's in some ways more detailed under the hood than a 1 to 18 scale car from a few years back. So I bought these two. These are some of the most recent ones. And it really made me realize that Welly is one of the companies to buy right now as far as die-cast cars go. They're really doing a nice job. This, I believe, is Welly again. Yep. So this Corvette. A lot of these are Welly. This Challenger Hellcat is not. And I've had to realign the doors. I had to take this apart and fix the door. You'd see them in Walmart. They were dirt cheap. They were $10. So I bought this one last year. And I actually took the door off and then realigned and fixed the hinge, which I have to be very careful because cheap die-cast, the pot metals on these die-cast cars, they're really cheap, so it could very easily break. But the door essentially looked like this up front, even when closed originally. Well, it was a different angle, but you can even see based on the overspray. It was completely off. It was way off. It's still a little bit off back here. You can notice that, but it was way off before. So that's most of it. One other oddball to point out. This is sort of interesting. I find this funny. One of the quirks with some of these models. So I bought this Pacer X, a Gremlin X, which was kind of a ridiculous buy, but I don't know, it was just too quirky and kind of a fun, weird little oddball to have in the collection. And it clearly indicates on this car, on the emblems, I'm going to put this up over here, so it clearly indicates that it is a Pacer X 5-liter V8. If you notice, the AMC logo actually is in the shape of a heart on the red triangle. It's not a triangle, it's a heart. It's kind of funny. But here's the real quirk with this car. So it says 5-liter V8. It has all the decals and the striping. It says Pacer X right on Gremlin X. Excuse me, I keep saying Pacer. It says Gremlin X right on the fender. So it should be a Gremlin X, right? There's the Gremlin logo. There's the big X on the grill. I've seen one of these on the highway one time. It was orange. But look under the hood. That is not the correct engine.